Welcome to Alexander Valley Vineyards. Today we're going to take a field trip to the historic one-room schoolhouse, the old adobe, through the gardens, see the caves, and the Alexander family cemetery. Thanks for coming with us, and let's go. Today we're going on a field trip to Alexander Valley School. Alexander Valley School was built by Cyrus Alexander in 1868, and it was a one-room schoolhouse with one teacher for all the kids within a 5-mile radius until 1950. The schools back then were stationed 5 miles apart, so every child would have the opportunity to get to a school without riding or walking too far. The schoolhouse is now used as a guest house, but it's fun to come up here and see what it was like for kids to go to school. So I'm going to read the rules for teachers from 1872, and these are what a teacher might have to do if they were teaching in a one-room schoolhouse. Teachers each day will fill lamps and clean chimneys. Each teacher will bring a bucket of water and a scuttle of coal for the day's session. Make your pens carefully. You may whittle nibs to the individual tastes of the pupils. Men teachers may take one evening each week for courting purposes, or 2 evenings a week if they go to church regularly. After 10 hours in school, the teachers may spend the remaining time reading the Bible or other good books. Women teachers who marry or engage in unseemly conduct will be dismissed. Every teacher should lay aside from each pay a goodly sum of his earnings for his benefit during his declining years, so that he will not become a burden on society. Any teacher who smokes, uses liquor in any form, frequents pool or public halls, or gets shaved in a barber shop will give good reason to suspect his worth, intention, integrity, and honesty. The teacher who performs his labor faithfully or without fault for 5 years will be given an increase of 25 cents per week in his pay, providing the Board of Education approves. Those are pretty strict rules for teachers. So the schoolhouse is original, the wood walls are original. We took the ceiling out to make a loft, but you can see also behind this wood stove which we put in, there's a place where the wall's been kicked and kicked and kicked by kids who had to sit in the corner, facing the corner when they were bad. There are a lot of old trees on this property planted by the Alexander family. The redwood trees behind me were planted in 1926 at a celebration party they had on the 4th of July for the 150th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. We have olive trees, a very old apple tree called an Astrakhan apple we think came from Fort Ross. Fig trees that are very old, and even a big loquat tree. This is a very old bay tree. I think it's about 400 years old, and it was here before Cyrus Alexander ever came here. It's hollow inside, squirrels live in it. It's even got some pieces of metal in it and some other interesting artifacts. And if you come around here, you can see it's put up a replacement tree for later on. See the holes?
Oh, you can see right through it.
You can see right through it. It's a pretty old tree and it's very cool. And these are bay leaves. It's a California bay laurel. And you can use them, you can dry them and use them for cooking or for decorating for wreaths. The first building Alexander built when he came here was this adobe. It was made out of mud bricks. We think the Native Americans who lived here told him this was the best place to build his house on a little hill with two creeks on either side. He lived in this adobe until he eventually got married and then built a house on this site in the late 1840s. This is a real sundial. The design came from Scotland, and my father's company had these made for some of their customers. The way it works is you have the sun go through one of these little holes, and you want it to line up on the line right here. So we'll move this around so the sun's on the line. Then we set the date, which today is May 22nd. And then over here it tells us the time, which it says is 1:58. And look, it's 1:58. So these are Chardonnay grapes. These are some of our grapevines. And this particular vine is Chardonnay. They've already gone through bloom. Little teeny flowers come out. That's already happened, and you can see the little grapes are starting to form. I know kids can think of a lot of things we can do with grapes and grapevines and even grape leaves. We can make wine, we can make juice, we can make jelly, we can make vinegar, we can make wreaths with canes from the vines. We can even make grape seed oil, where you crush the seeds and get oil out of the inside. They're a very versatile plant. Lots of things you can do. We have very large caves. They hold all our barrels. It's nice and cool in here. Stays a constant temperature of about 60 degrees. And these caves hold about 8,000 barrels. They go back under the hill all the way through, out the other side, and they're full most of the time. This is the Alexander family cemetery, high up on the hill overlooking Alexander Valley. Several family members of the Alexanders are buried here, including Cyrus, his wife Rufina, 5 of their children, and even a great granddaughter and her husband. It's a county historic monument, and we do our best to take care of it and honor the tradition of the cemetery. So that's our field trip for today. Thanks for coming to visit Alexander Valley Vineyards. I hope we can do it in person soon.